Hallo Cliquenabendler, wir sind bei Alley Cat Games. Next to me is Cesar. Hi.
Hello, nice to meet you.
You're doing a Kickstarter at the moment. I think it's already online.
That's right. It's online since the end of September and it ends on November the 1st.
And it's your third game by Kickstarter?
Yes, that's right. First game was Lab Wars and our second game was Cauldron Master.
And this game here is called Dice Hospital, so I guess we are in a hospital.
That's right, yeah.
And what do? Do we manage the hospital? Are the guys from the hospital? Or?
Yeah, so every person has their own hospital board and everyone gets given these cute little Dr. Meeples. And the Dr. Meeples are essentially your workers. And the hospital board essentially represent action spots. And the action spots are for for players to manipulate your dice. And the dice are your patients. So the higher level is really healthy, so 6 is really good, and number 1 is they're close to dying. But where you score the points is when you get the dice up to 7, and when you lose points is when the dice go down to 0.
Okay, so up to 7 he's not ill anymore, and up to 1...
That's right, and they get discharged at 7. Now the whole point of the game is that you have a limited space of beds for your patients, but you're trying to also discharge as many patients as possible in a single round. So you'll be manipulating the dice using your hospital board, your upgrades, doing combinations, and then you're trying to discharge them all at once, because that's where the points are at.
And how do I manipulate the dice?
So you manipulate the dice by moving your worker onto an action spot, and for instance the trauma unit, which is a red cube, or red dice, you put them on there, and you say, okay, well, I put my worker on there and I treat the patient. So it would treat it by 1. So for instance, it would go from a 2 to a 3, and then I move it down to the treated area. Now, any dice that are left on the top area, that means the doctor hasn't seen them. So that means that they would go down by 1 if your doctor hasn't seen them. So they would go from a 5 to a 4, for instance, at the end of the round. How you do the drafting, and this is where the interaction comes in from, is the first player would draw from a dice bag, and then you would roll equal to the number of ambulance spaces. So for a 3-player game, there are 4 ambulances, and you would roll 3 dice per ambulance. And then you would put the dice from lowest to highest, from 1 to 4. And similarly to role player, actually, the dice with the lowest values also give you the first place to pick the upgrades. Initiative, exactly. So effectively they're initiative cards. So we came up with that independently to role player. We played it afterwards and realised it was the same. And then for a 3-player game, you would deal out 2 specialists. Let's deal out a yellow one, and 2 tiles. And during your turn, if you're first, for instance, you would get first pick about the specialists, and they give you extra stuff to do with your hospital. So for instance, this one would say, if you go on this spot, you can treat the red die 3 times. So you just put it anywhere here, it doesn't matter where you place it, and then you move your worker to there when it's your turn, and I would treat it up to 6, for instance. With the specialists, you also get these cool little meeples with a colour, and you would effectively get the worker with the card, and it counts as an extra worker, plus they have a bonus for using them. So whenever I treat a yellow in this instance, I treat it again once. So it's this whole combination of trying to get the rooms, trying to get the specialists, having enough space, and discharging as many as possible at the same time.
All right. And when does the game end?
The game ends after 8 rounds. So the person with the highest points using our score tracker, I'm not sure you can see it, so it's like an ECG type score tracker. Yeah, and we have a dial that in the final version you can flip over like this for the rounds. So that's how you keep track of the score.
All right. And you're planning to do the Kickstarter, of course, with pledge goals. Do you reach already one?
Yeah, we've already reached plenty. So we've unlocked, for instance, extra administrator cards. They're the objective cards that each player is dealt. We also have an event deck for players that like a little bit more randomization. And we've also upgraded the cards to a better card stock. And one that I hope we will reach is...
miniatures?
Almost, is illustrated meeples. So Sabrina has already drawn an example, but these will be illustrated on the front of the meeples. And each colour will have their own special type of doctor.
But you also have a miniature, the small cars, right?
Oh yeah, so I don't have the example here.
Oh, but it's shown on there on the poster.
Yeah, so over there,
the white one.
we can show you. But essentially, in the deluxe version, you would get 5 of those ambulances, and a mini expansion pack called Experimental Medicine, and wooden token upgrades for the chipboard tokens. So that comes.
And your colleague saw it. So these will be.
Yeah. So as you can see, they're used to draft the dice. It's just a fun way to.
There are these here.
So these replace the ambulances like that, and then you get stickers to tell you what number they are.
Great.
So yeah.
Kickstarter will end on 1st of November.
1st of November European time. Yeah.
And I think, but after it's finished, you can do a late pledge.
Yeah, of course. We're going to be opening up pre-orders afterwards. You won't be able to get the Kickstarter free promo cards. Afterwards, it will be like a small charge of a couple of euros.
And the game will be available with German rules?
Yeah, it will be available with German rules, so you can download it from BGG. This is the English version, but yeah, you can download them for sure.
All right. So thanks for your time at the fair.
Thank you very much.
Wish
Hope
you
you have a nice time.
Yeah, we have. Hopefully you as well.
Thank you.
Wish you a very nice ending phase, the last 3 days, right?
Thank you. We hope it's going to be successful, so we can reach that illustrated Meeples stretch goal.
And see you perhaps next year at Essen?
Hopefully, yeah. We're going to be sharing with Sierra Madre Games again. So yeah, we'll be here next year with our next game.
All right, great. Looking forward to it.
Thanks very much.
And yeah, see you next year then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.